We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Cactus Wrestling is now available on Spotify and Amazon. And don't forget to check us out on Etsy for all of your Cactus Wrestling apparel needs. Bo Bassett is officially going to Rutgers.
Oh
In the
my
video,
God. Jack's been saying it from day one.
theme music
I
plays,
thought it
we're
was
out.
possible, but wow.
I can't wait for this aged like milk.
The
Free.
Scarlet Knight.
Did you see oh, by the way, did you guys see the freezing cold takes and then it was the Gabe Arnold's and
Yeah, I
his
did see that.
thing? Yeah, it was funny.
No idea.
Oh,
Anyway, Bo Bassett is officially announcing. This we're filming this on Sunday. This
yeah.
hasn't been official. That's my pick. I've been picking him for Rutgers since the
I
jump.
still think Oklahoma State won. I think Rutgers would be number two in my mind, but I think Oklahoma State is where he's going to say.
Let's point to the facts. Mike Lawn, our
Okay. I got him.
correspondent, Mike Lawn, he compiled a list of the facts, and this is where it comes into play. Mike,
Local Bo Bassett super fan Mike Long. Um, so the other day, I gotta just share this. One of the other coaches from youth, I was talking about, big matchup between Bishop McCourt and Wyoming Seminary, and he's like, oh, cool, like, who wrestles for Bishop McCourt? And I was like, oh, like the Bassett brothers. Bo Bassett's probably one of their top wrestlers. Him and Jax Force. And he goes, who? And I'm explaining it to him, and then he's like, no, I'm just joking. I just like to see you get annoyed. But anyway,
Wait,
this is what we know about Bo.
wait,
He's
who you
someone
talking about?
what's up?
I said, wait, who you talking about?
Yeah. So Bo wants to go somewhere he can create his own legacy. This is something he said, he doesn't want to be, you know, he wants to be the guy. Um, so he has connections to Iowa through Young Guns, Coach Cody Strittmeyer, who's the coach, and then obviously the Spencer Lee connection that him and Spencer, their careers have been paralleled for so long. Um, oh yeah, there it is right there. And
In Oklahoma State.
Spencer famously went
Portland,
to
Iowa.
Iowa after being a Pennsylvania guy born and raised who trained with Young Guns. Um, we also know, though, he has his connection to Oklahoma State through David Taylor. And if you think back to the Flow film they did on YouTube about, recruiting of Bo and Jax, how much he talked about, has David called? Has David called? Has David called? And then that's one of the few calls they actually showed in its entirety is him talking to David Taylor. Additionally, there's been the long speculated rumor that Jax Forrest is going to Oklahoma State, which his dad had to come out and say, no, 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 like we're out keeping all our options open, despite us going there several times a year to train with Dayton Fix, and despite being from the South, we are not necessarily going to Oklahoma State. Um, but then we see, okay, he's got a cousin, Eric Gibson, at Penn State. But then he also has a cousin, Mason Gibson, at Rutgers, who famously flipped from Penn State to Rutgers. Additionally, Devin Magro, his current teammate, who's a senior at Bishop McCourt, just committed to Rutgers as well. We also know that there's a rumored huge NIL deal. And which of these teams do we think can afford to have a wrestler like Bo? Um, but now, even further, we know that he's also a Rudis sponsored athlete. Rudis, centered in Ohio, right next to Ohio State. Bo has also made it clear that he wants to go somewhere that his brothers, Melvin and Keegan, go with him. And if you see the pictures, every picture has him and his brothers, Melvin and Keegan. Melvin, number 6, I think, pound for pound in the nation. One
well,
of
it's his family in every picture, but yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
additionally, like I'm gonna break it down. I mean, it's not just him and his dad, or him and his mom, or him by himself.
No,
It's
it's
him
it's
and
the
his family in every
five of
picture.
them in every picture.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Melvin, as you guys probably know, is an incredible wrestler. Was the number one guy at 157, then became the number one guy at 165. He's a sophomore, Super 32 championships, Fargo championships, world team. Um, the kid is just a flat out great wrestler. Keegan is a freshman, not as successful. Not that he's bad. He's, I think, number 10 right now at 106. Was a Fargo champ, Super 32 placer, Ironman placer, Powerade placer, but not a champ like Bo and Melvin. So you have to think what school will take someone that isn't maybe the bluest of blue chips, but is still very, very good. Additionally, we know how important freestyle is for Bo. He's made it clear he wants to win world and Olympic titles. Specifically, he wants to win the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. So we have to think about who has great freestyle programs, great RTCs, great freestyle experiences coaches. Additionally, great training partners in the room, but also future competition in the room. We saw with Penn State and NLWC that had Kyle Dake and Jason Nolf at the same weight. Additionally, guys like Mitchell Messenbrink and Levi Haynes all are at 74. And Carter even talked about going 74 last season. You had a team of guys competing for the same spot. Um, so, a lot to think about here. There's also the rumor that one team, Rutgers, floated a RTC position to coach Bill Bassett, Bo's father, as well as finding a role for his mother to work in the school as well. So there's so many things out there that so many like kind of puzzle pieces as to where we think he can end up. I'm gonna lean toward Oklahoma State, which is not what I originally had. You know, I
I'm
picked,
just waiting. This is like a Scooby-Doo mystery. I'm
yeah,
just waiting for you to rip off the mask. Who is
I
it gonna
picked,
be?
so I picked Penn State originally.
Yeah,
And,
you did.
No, I thought you picked Iowa.
no, I picked Penn State originally, and then I said it. I think he's gonna go to Iowa instead of Penn State.
Oh, okay.
But then
Um,
Jack started to get you.
I
Jack did with
did.
Rutgers for sure. Um, but I think that the prospect of wrestling for David Taylor, and additionally, the news we found out tonight, Drayshawn Ross has now committed to Oklahoma State.
Mm.
For those of you guys that don't know, Drayshawn Ross is the number three in the class of 2026. Bo and Jax are one and two. Um,
If the top
Drayshawn,
three all go Okie
well,
State,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if Drayshawn's committed there and Jax commits there, and Bo commits there, this is the new wave of the David Taylor era that is really going to help launch this program. And when they look back at it and say, wow, just like you had the Kale era started with who? Ed Ruth.
And
Ed
David
was the first
Taylor.
multi-time, but Quentin Wright
Exactly.
was the first champ he had.
But these are the names you guys remember.
I guess Quentin Wright's probably one that most Penn State fans aren't going to remember, just a
You're
one-time.
going to remember Ruth and Taylor mostly. Quentin Wright did win. I will give him this,
He was the first champ of
of the
the
Kale era.
yeah, of Kale, but
But now you're saying Bo can make his name in a storied program like Oklahoma State in the David Taylor era
yeah.
with two other superstars alongside him. And there's the pipeline now to get his brother Melvin and his brother Keegan there with
I
a
will
coach
say
that
I don't love that Oklahoma State is
is
three
dead
times as
center.
big in the it's dead center,
Oh
three
yeah.
times as large as all the other schools here. I've been picking Rutgers from the very beginning, as early as 6 months ago. I'm still picking Rutgers. I have to stick with my guns at this point, but I don't like the fact that he's got this picture dead center.
And it's
Get me a
it's
little
triple
nervous.
the size of the others.
Yeah, it's got me a little nervous.
It's gonna be exciting. This is
I've been
very
saying Okie State from the get.
you have.
But I will say, I mean, we saw in the Anthony Knox recruiting video that the first school that called him, Cornell, ended up signing him. And who was the first school who
Oh yeah,
called?
Rutgers, right?
It was
Rutgers.
Rutgers. And David Taylor was like the 20th or something. And they said finally on the board. So obviously he was waiting for it, but clearly there's a connection with Rutgers based on everything you've already said. So I still am going to pick Rutgers, but subliminally, I don't like the collage. The collage is throwing me off. I don't like it.
So I saw this online. I think it was Justin Bash from Bashmania put this up, and he said it's going to be interesting to see how many people react positively or negatively to Bo's choice. When you have such a huge media presence like Bo has, um, there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings about this, and a lot of people are going to probably dog him and trash him.
Yeah, but
Especially,
they've been trashing him from the beginning. So, I
yeah,
mean,
it'll be interesting to see like how he gets treated because he still has another year of high school.
yeah. So I put a poll on the YouTube page, which team will he commit to? it only allowed for 4 options. I know he has 7. I think that Michigan and Virginia Tech and potentially Ohio State were the least
Bottom of the
likely. So I put Penn State, Iowa, Rutgers, Oklahoma State. 137 votes, 43% choose Oklahoma State, 31% Penn State, 18% Iowa, and only 7% say Rutgers.
Well,
So
and then if you look at the comments, a lot of them say Iowa.
Iowa. Yeah, especially after watching them lose the other night to Penn
yeah.
State when they got hammered. Um,
I don't know. I feel like Bo's always wanted to go Big Ten, so that's why I'm going Rutgers. But drop a comment down below. Where's he going to go? We're going to find out in less than 48 hours officially. And by the time this video drops, I mean, like, very soon. So
yeah. So
stay
really
tuned
exciting, man.
around to hear our reactions to it. Let us know your reactions to it. Where is he going? We want to hear your picks. Drop them in the comments down below. And
That's right, baby.
let us know if you have any inside information that we're missing.
He's going to Mizzou.
Pitt Johnstown.
Yeah. He's going to take
Redeemed
up
from the
chess. He's no
dead.
longer wrestling. He's focusing on his baseball career.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.